Hello, hammerheads. Just me again. Oh, why do all me gadgets keep going all crap? Ah, never mind. Doesn't matter. Ooh, right then. You know what, right? Loads of people lately, right, have been pinching my lighter. Never mind. I'll go and have to find it harder. Loads of people, right, lately, well, not just lately, but like, people at work, and that's a couple of lads at work, they're always banging on about Doctor Who. There's fucking videos on YouTube about Doctor Who and that. And, you know, who is Doctor Who? I mean, I couldn't tell you who the Doctor is now, or I fucking... Last one I remember is bloody David Tennant. He probably is. I don't know. I'm a bit ignorant in that department, sorry. But, you know, it's like an obsession, isn't it? I mean, I used to love Doctor Who when I was a kid. Oh, God, I was obsessed with it. I used to rush home from school. Actually, I didn't, because it was on a Saturday. I used to buy the Looking magazine. Oh, what's going to happen next week in Doctor Who? Oh, you know, it's a wonder that, well, they probably do have Doctor Who conventions somewhere around. You know what I mean? Just like the Star Trek ones. Fucking Star Trek. Me wife used to go to all them fucking conventions. She was a Trekkie, self-confessed Trekkie. She went out with me one night, right, with a big pair of fucking Dr. Spock ears on. I'm thinking, hey, she's not with me, mind. She's just a drunk I found in the gutter. I'm looking after her. Obsessions. But like I say, Doctor Who, I used to love that, you know. You know, the last time I watched Doctor Who? Must have been 1977. No word of a lie. And then I was 10 then. I must have just grew out of it. Then Blake 7 come out, didn't it? I tried to watch that. It was fucking appalling. Even at that young age I thought, the special effects in this are bloody rubbish. The acting was like absolutely terrible. The props, Jesus wept. It was just shit. Blake 7. And then there was fucking, what do you call it? Space 1999. I used to love watching that every Saturday morning. It was on just before or just after Lynn's Looking. Or was it Saturday Shake Up? One of them things, or could have been Tiz was. Anyway, every Saturday that was on. But Doctor Who, I used to love it when John Pertwee was the Doctor, and his assistant was Joe Grant, the blonde one. Aye, tell you what frightened me to death. The Claws of Axons, 1971. I remember that. I mean, we only had black and white telly back then, but it was still scary. Horrible fucking monsters and that, with all these tentacles. I used to call them, for some reason, the Lemonsy monsters. I don't know why, like. If we had a colour telly back then, I would have been twice as fucking scared to death, because we get bright orange and that, with all these tentacles. Aye. And then I used to scare me that. I remember once when I lived in Blackpool, in Bard's Way, right. The curtains were drawn, we had a big tree in the garden. Me and my bro were in the same double bed, pissing about and all that. So my Uncle Gordon come upstairs, separated us, took him away in another room and that. And he'd been telling me, oh, there's a monster out there, you know, you can see it beyond the curtains. And when he'd gone, I looked and I'd see the shape of the tree moving. I was like, oh God, it's a lemonsy monster. It's an Axon. It used to scare me then. God, I was only 4, for God's sake. 5, sorry. No, 4. 71, whatever. The Claws of Axos. Was it John Pertwee when them sea devil things come into it? They made a film of that, didn't they? Well, it was all the episodes lumped together, I suppose. Tom Baker took over from him, and Sarah Jane Smith. Whoa, Elizabeth Sladen. She died lately, didn't she? Pretty recently, and she's already young, really. I remember reading about that and going, I used to have a big crush on her in the 70s. It was when, it was about 1974 or 75 when that spaceship landed. It was like, it's shaped like a fucking football and that. And that Lynx, I think you called it, pulled its helmet off and it was again horrible fucking little slit eyes and big fat head with little ears and that. Aye. I remember, I used to love the Tom Baker ones. Then there was the big robot, the giant robot that kept getting bigger and bigger. And then there was the one of the ghosts or something. And then there was the one of that bloke who turned into a giant plant. I remember that. With Tom Baker, he got killed off in 1980 or 81 or something like that? I didn't watch it then, like. I was into other things. I discovered punk rock music and heavy metal and all that. Yeah. I started to become a rebel. So, Doctor Who pretty much became the bottom of my priority list, if you know what I mean, back then. But everyone's banging on about it now. And I don't know what it's like these days. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know they had a huge succession of different doctors throughout the 80s. There was bloody Colin Baker. I'm not going to say them in order. Sylvester McCoy and blah-de-blah-de-blah. I can't remember anymore. And our Christopher Eccleston was one of them in the 90s. Well, not the 90s, it was later than that. See what I mean? I don't follow it anymore, so I don't know, you know. But, yeah, used to scare me that. To be honest with you, I don't watch series and things like that anymore on telly, you know, bloody soaps and all that, neither. Christ. Always watch the Crime Channel now, or National Geographic and things like that. The cookery channels as well. You know, and the odd film channel. Well, some film channels sometimes there's an alright film on, like on True Movies and that. But aye, Doctor Who though. The only problem is with that, well, I used to watch years ago. Oh, I remember the Tom Baker one and all. That was an early one with that bloke on the spaceship. He turned into a fucking maggot. They turned that into a long fucking feature and all. Lumped all the episodes together and it was about, what, an hour and a half or something like that. Yeah, I've watched a few of them on YouTube lately. And they're terrible. You know, the old ones. Like the Claws of Axos and that, and Some of the Tom Baker ones that used to frighten me. Plastic monsters coming towards you and all that. It's probably a lot better now, obviously, with the special effects these days and everything. But anyway, hammerheads. Doctor Who? Who's he? Him? Who? Goodbye, hammerheads.